Hi friends, this lesson is all about flowers and plants. And all this week we are going to talk about the different parts of a flower and also what plants and flowers need in order to grow. So we were going to do this really fun craft project, and I want you to use things that you find around your house in your craft supplies or your playroom or anything you have you could use in order to make your flower. So just like we made the spring tree when we first started our remote learning, today, this lesson, you're going to make a flower. But when you make the flower, you got to make sure you have all the different parts of a flower, okay? So I'm showing you this one as an example that I used paper and tissue and yarn, and I cut out raindrops, and I had some sequins and some puff balls to make my flower. And then I'm going to show you the one that I drew up on the board. So we're going to talk a lot about plants, and we're going to watch some videos on how plants grow, and I think there's a Brain Pop and a SciShow Kids, all the videos that we like to watch at school we're going to also watch. And when we look at a flower, there's different parts of the flower that we're going to learn how to label and identify. So first, on the flower part, each individual pieces that make up the flower are called petals. And then the long part that the flower stands on is called the stem. And the stem is what sucks up all the water and the nutrients from the roots and in the soil, and it travels up the stem to make the flower bloom. On the stem you find leaves. Then the plant is planted in the dirt, or what we call the soil. And down in the dirt, which goes down underneath the dirt and in, that holds this plant sitting straight up, are called the roots. And the roots are what sucks up the nutrients so that it travels up into the flower to bloom. Now, plants and flowers need lots of things in order to grow. They need air, and they need rain, and they need sun, and they need the soil. Okay, so we're going to learn all about what they need to grow and the different parts. But your job for this lesson is to make a flower out of materials that you find at home, and you're going to label. We're going to tell you the words that we want you to label. We want you to label the roots. We want you to label the stem and the leaves and the petals. Okay, those are the parts of the flower that we want you to label on your flower that you make. You can also go dig deeper, just like this one was very detailed. You can go ahead too and add a sun and the word air and rain and water. That's what plants need in order to grow. Now, the next day, after you make your flower and label your parts, another activity you're going to have tomorrow is, what do plants need? So that's when you're going to have to look at these pictures down here. Remember, there's always some tricky ones in there, and you're going to have to glue on which ones plants need to grow. So they have water, air, soil, a hat, cookies, and sunlight. So there's some tricky ones in there. You're going to have to figure out which ones don't belong, but what 4 things do plants need to grow. So those are 2 fun activities and a fun craft that you're going to get to do on making a flower, and I can't wait to see what you create.